Hello, I'm once again in my car, and I am now just coming back from the archery range. There's a range out in Pacifica called San Francisco Archers, or the San Francisco Archery Range, one or the other, depending on who you ask. And it's the archery range that my friend Steve brought me to. Steve is a member of the archery range, so he gets to go for free because he paid his yearly dues, and it cost $5 a day. It's a full day to use the range. Well, after going there, I'd say probably about 7 times now, I just forked up to $60 and paid my membership fee. So now I'm a member of that particular range. Just put a money order into a paycheck with a piece of informational paper that they have you fill out, dropped it into the dues box, so now when they collect it, they'll have my information and my money. So I'm going to show you guys a series of pictures that I took of rounds that I fired. Round being the 5 arrows that are in my quiver. So every 5 arrows, I would take a picture and show the result. And I did that for, I don't know, 15, I think, rounds. One of them was a 15-yard shot. The rest are all 10 yards. Now, I know that doesn't sound like much, but believe me, it's, you know, when you're starting out as an archer, 10 yards it's not easy. You know, you're not going to hit a bullseye every time. That's just reality. But after the last couple days of going to the range and firing off a bunch of arrows and getting frustrated and adjusting, I have now put into place some suggestions that I had seen online. I was following those suggestions, YouTube videos of different how-to for archery things. I was following the suggestions, but I was doing it in my own way and not really getting the results that I wanted. I was able to hit the targets, but not necessarily in the right area. I'm able to hit what I'm aiming at in terms of the overall target area, but not the exact area that I'm aiming for. So I was trying to figure out why it was that I wasn't able to do this. You know, I'm chalking it up to, oh, well, I'm still new. But even in that regard, I should still relatively be able to get the arrow right around where I want it to go. But I wasn't doing that. I wasn't having that success. So what I ended up doing was changing my anchor point and my actual grip on the arrow. I know I said this before. There are 2 main grips that you can use on the string. They both involve these 3 fingers. There's the 3 under, which means you take all 3 fingers together underneath the nock of the arrow and draw the string there. Or there's the split, which is 1 over the nock and 2 below the nock. And I prefer the split. And I remember I had said last time that the reason why I was having difficulty was because of where the string was hitting on my fingers and it's causing my hand to shake. So my split was like this. So I had more surface area being covered, no dedicated pressure on any one particular finger. Well, I'm still doing the split finger, but now I'm putting my fingers like this. You can't see it, this one's slightly moved over. And right in between the 2 is the nock of the arrow. That's what I'm now holding the arrow like that. Before, there would be a good, I don't know, inch and a half below my finger and the below my index finger, or excuse me, below my middle finger, or below the nock and my middle finger. That was the space that existed. So now, while doing that, I've got a little bit more control over the arrow, and I was doing this. My anchor point was this. My thumb here, or no wait, what was? Yeah, it was here. I would draw back, and my thumb would be here, and I was using that as an anchor point. Well, that wasn't really working as well as I was hoping it would. So I started to do what they had suggested on all these different videos, which is now this. My finger, when I draw back, my finger touches right here. And I guess because of the fact that I'm doing it that way, I'm getting a straighter release, a straighter arrow release, and that might be helping. It could, well, let me rephrase that. It is helping, but it was just I felt uncomfortable doing this at first, but now I just kept focusing on it, pulling it back. That's my focus. Touching the corner of my mouth, and over the course of, I'd say, probably 20-25 rounds, I saw improvement in my targeting. I was able to actually hit the bullseye. I wouldn't say, a whole bunch of times, but I was able to hit it enough that I could see that it was working. So now, when I draw my arrow, I touch right here. The guy that because I've been researching, or I should say rather watching, because I really haven't been doing any active researching, but I've been watching videos about different aiming techniques, and one of the techniques that they have is called instinctual, which basically means there are two main ways that you can aim. You can use the arrow as a target point and focus on the tip of the arrow and where it's going, or you can focus on where the arrow is going to hit. You look at the target and focus on that and fire the arrow. Well, because of the fact that I'm left eye dominant and I'm firing right-handed, there's a conflict there because of the fact that if I'm left eye dominant, I should be firing left-handed, because the eye that you're looking down the shaft of the arrow is the one that should be the stronger of the two. So I've been looking for different techniques that I can use to just sort of bypass that, because I really don't want to fire a left-handed bow. So I've started to do the instinctive targeting, where I'm looking at the target, so therefore I don't have to worry about which eye is stronger, because I'm using both eyes. When I'm firing my bow, I have both eyes open. So, yeah, what I'll do is I will put the montage of shots, so you can basically see the different areas that the arrow lands, and it looks like I have one decent round and one not so decent round, and one decent round and one not so decent round, and it goes back and forth. And then there's, at the very end, the very last one that I'll show you is the one from the 15-yard line, which actually was relatively good considering. I was a little surprised that I did so well. So everything except for the last picture is going to be 10 yards from the target. And so you'll see where the arrows hit in terms of where I was aiming. I was aiming relatively at the center, I was aiming for the bullseye, at least in terms of just general location. That's where I was aiming. So that'll give you an idea of a reference point as to how well or not so well I did. So there you go, check it out, and I'll talk to y'all later.